Hi, I'm here to discuss about another video. This video is regarding telnet and SSH. So let's get started. So what is telnet? Telnet is a user command and an underlying TCP/IP protocol for accessing remote computers. Throughout telnet, through telnet, an administrator or another user can access someone else's computer remotely. On the web, HTTP and FTP protocols allow you to request specific files from remote computers, but not to actually be logged on as a user of that computer. With Telnet, you could log on as a regular user with whatever privileges you may have been granted to that specific application and data on that computer. What is SSH or Secure Shell? Well, going back again to Telnet. Telnet is port 23 and it's not secure. So they come up with secure shell. So secure shell or SSH provides a secure channel over an unsecured network in a client server architecture, connecting an SSH client application with an SSH server. Common applications include remote command login and remote command execution. But any network service can be secured with SSH. The protocol specification distinguishes between two major versions, referred to as SSH-1 and SSH-2. So what are the key differences? Or let's start first with what are shared features of the two. So client programs that perform remote logins, remote program executions, and secure file copy across a network. An extremely configurable SSH server. Several selectable encryption algorithms and authentication mechanisms, and an SSH agent to cache keys for easy access. For version 2, added a few new features to provide stronger and more comprehensive product. These features include encryption ciphers such as triple DES and AES, the use of sound cryptographic message authentication code or MAC algorithms for integrity checking, and support for public key certificates. So on with our lab. So our lab, we're gonna still use the lab that we used before on the RIP videos. There's 4 routers and 2 Linux servers. So let's get started. So right now we're gonna, for simplicity's sake, um, we're just gonna configure one router for both SSH and Telnet. And I have pre-configured the other 3 already. And then after we've configured this one, we're gonna see in Wireshark how the 2 protocols behave. So since this one doesn't have SSH and Telnet installed, so we're gonna um, do it right now. So let's move this a little bit. Um, you can see um, the diagram. Oh wait, so let's put back again. Sorry about that. So let's put back again the IP address. It's hard for me to remember the IP addresses. So first and foremost, we need to check if there is no existing SSH configuration. So in order for us to do that, we need to show run section SSH. That's it. Then we verify the line BTY lines using the same command. Okay, so let's get started. So in order for us to configure telnet, um, there's only one thing that's important: the line BTY lines or the BTY lines. So what we're gonna do is config the um, line BTY 0 and after whatever the line BTY lines that you have, and then we'll do transport input. Then we'll put in the password. Then after that, you're gonna take login, and then for security reasons also, we could configure the console so that if you use the console, it's gonna ask you for at least a password. So same thing. Um, so line console and then password, then login. Right, there you go. That's about it. So we'll put this up there, and then so what we could do is we could use this CentOS. CentOS here, right, and verify we could actually log into it. So for this one, since since the IP address is already pre-configured, we could use any IP address we want. So we could use, let's say, in this case, loopback. Oh, okay. We'll have to make some adjustments here because I forgot to do something here that I should have done. Just a second. Well, I'll connect cable. And then let's try it again. You can see it says, oops, wrong password. Then after we configure telnet, since we already are in this server connected to Atlanta, we could just put this one away and then continue on configuring telnet, configuring SSH. So one thing about SSH is you need to have some things present there. Um, First, you need to have the domain name for the routers or the Cisco devices that you're configuring. And then you have to generate the crypto keys. And then we have to configure the port in which you want to, or line in which you do SSH, which is the BTY lines. And then we have to configure a user. Plus, you want to uh, you want to make sure that we we assign a particular user, or we want it in such a way that we have to have authentication on it. We know who's logging into what time and what router. So going back again to the configuration, say config t, and the command it's IP domain. The reason why it sounds there's a sound on it is because it actually has multiple options on it. So what we need is domain name and then whatever domain you want. So I pick that one. Great. And then next is crypto keys. Crypto, and then we want keys. And what are the other options for it? Oh, key. So what we want is to generate the keys because we don't have it. And then the only option is RSA. So we choose RSA. Then we choose encryption strength on it. How many bits do we want it encrypted with? So we choose the middle of it, like 1024. We're gonna generate the keys, and then we're gonna do reconfigure the VTY lines. So I'll just space it in so that it's faster. Because I believe we only configured uh, telnet, I believe. Oh, we configured SSH also. My bad. But as a habit, we should remove the configuration for telnet. So one thing that we need is, so on the transport input, right? Because I thought that I only put in telnet. So transport input, telnet, and date. in order for you to log into it, you have to have the password. Then um, you're supposed to tell it how am I going to log into it. So we could tell it to log in local. So if you have a radio server or um, any authentication AEA server, there's an added option for it. So, uh, but there's an option for it to use the authentication server. Okay, and then for the line console, we'll just probably do it the same way. So line con 0, then instead of no, instead of not asking for username, I'm gonna tell it to ask for a username, and then the password will obviously password will be the same. Okay, and then what's next? We're gonna use we're gonna configure the username. So the username and whatever user you want to put in there, and then the password. Okay, and then if you notice, right? Let's say you grab. Oh, let's just wait until we do the Wireshark thing. So we're gonna exit from that. Control X. Exit, and then fill SSH into it. So for SSH, since we specify user, you put the user first and then the IP address. So we'll use another one, 168, 192.168. Let's try the other loopback. It's 102. 102.129. Oh, so we delete the SSH thing because I already configured this one before. So and I remove the SSH key so it's thinking that somebody else is trying to log in with it, or it thinks that there's another device trying to log into the same IP. So to remove that, let me just find it. I believe it's SSH minus D. Oh, SSH cgen minus R. Then the IP address. So IP address 102.129. So this is H and it is H again, and it's R in the IP. So that removes the old keys because we deleted it from the router before and then we created it. Then you should be able to log into it. And it's going to ask for a password. And then we're in. Oh, we typed the password correctly. We're in. Right? And then on the last example that I'm going to show it to you is we'll put this one out in the way first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a sniffer in between the connection of the CentOS and ORD and the connection between Atlanta and LAX. And then what I'm gonna do is log into, let's say, the CentOS, log into LAX using telnet and see the result. But first, for before we do that, I accidentally logged out of it. Oh no, wait, that's a different thing. Exit. So next. Okay, so I'm gonna log into LA and okay, it's gonna ask for a username. Oh, okay, put in there temporary password. Okay, right. So config T, and let's create another user, or let's do service. Let's create another user first, or let's do enable secret. Then put in the password for the secret. Um, Save password set. that replaces the ordinary um, enable password. Then we'll create another username, let's say secure user, right? And then the password. And so if we do show run, you can see here the enable secret is hashed in MD5 encryption. And the two users you see here, the Cisco is just regular type 7 encryption, and then the secure user is MD5. Oh, no, it's not MD5. Sorry about that. I believe it's not secret. It's not password, it's secret. The old one first. Okay. Again, second take. So that one, you can see the MD5 you had. Okay. So if we go to Wireshark, so the Wireshark that we're going to use is, since this is an OS, we're not going to use the one here, but we're going to use the one that's connected to here. So let me just find that, this guy, right? And then follow TCP. So you want to put in the TCP, no, telnet, sorry, telnet. And then we're going to specify what IP address is telnet. So it's 103. So we're going to find the destination that's 103 there, and then follow the TCP stream. And as you can see, um, it will show you whatever you type, even the password that I mistyped, and also the configuration change that you did. It might be garbled a little, but you can still figure out what could be the username and password for it. And then if we and then after that, when we do um, show run, it will also show you your configuration, which just in case you notice like this one, which is type 7 encryption, you could easily decrypt it using any of the web tools. So for SSH, we're gonna use um, so we'll put this out of the way, and we're gonna use Ubuntu. So for Ubuntu, um, you're gonna log into ORD. SSH, then specify the user. Let's go at 192.168.105. One. Yes. And it's gonna ask you for the password. Enable. And then might as well let's do the same thing, right? So um, config key, then we'll configure the label secret, label secret, and then configure a secure user. So username, then secret, then the show run. Oh, forget to do the do. So as you can see, that's the password for the enable secret. Down. Then as you can see, the secure user is hashing MD5, whereas the Cisco user is only encrypted using a type 7 password, right? Then what we're gonna do is find SSH here, do the same thing. We have to find the one that ends in 105, which is almost probably all the way down here. Then follow the TCP stream. And as you can see, all of it is garbled or gobbledygook, which means that even whether if you use type 7 password or not, or MD5, it's not gonna be understandable from the human perspective, or even, and it's gonna take um, a long time for a computer to cipher this one, just in case there's a man in the middle attack, because it's encrypted. So today I showed to you how to configure telnet and SSH on a Cisco router, and how does it look like on Wireshark. Thanks for listening, guys and girls, and hopefully you subscribe and watch out for the next video that I'm going to produce. Thank you.